Hello, the Pioneer viewers. How are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well. As always, the Pioneer team is back with our new report on Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, we will analyze the latest developments on the front line. As it is known, the pressure of the Russian army is increasing day by day and continues. Although the resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces continues, there are indeed very difficult conditions on the front line. Russian troops have strangely changed a strategy. We can observe that this strategy has been working in recent days, and the Russian army first encircles the area where it will carry out its attacks from 3 perimeters. Then it leaves a narrow passage. The Ukrainian troops are delaying this withdrawal process here, which hinders the retreat and protection of the existing personnel. So, are the Ukrainian armed forces losing the war? Let's take a look at developments together. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you developments regarding Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start if you are ready, the Pioneer reports. Again and again, we start our report with the latest developments on Zaporizhia front line. In fact, there are not many noteworthy changes on the Kherson front line, and the positions in the area are pretty much the same as a month ago. We can say that the borderline here has now become a natural formation. Russian troops sometimes used heavy shelling to increase the intensity of the attacks, but there is a situation here. The Marines of the Ukrainian armed forces serving here are waging guerrilla warfare. Of course, Ukrainian soldiers are more advantageous in this situation because in guerrilla warfare, as you know, regular troops have very little chances of successes. They explain why Russian troops have still not made any gains on the Kherson front line. There is an intense shelling activity in the region. As we mentioned, the Russian army is trying to break through the Ukrainian army's lines by shelling. According to the latest reports, units of the Russian armed forces targeted Kherson, Antoniivka, Belozerka, Krynki, Vetelnitsky, and Dniprovsky. In turn, artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces targeted Russian armed forces units stations in Olapristan, Kokhani, Oleshki, Pidilzny, and Sahi. Let's continue by analyzing the latest developments on the Zaporizhia front line. According to the latest reports, counter battles on the Zaporizhia front line are intensifying in the Kamenskoye area. Here we observe that the Russian army is using the same strategy of the front expansion that the Ukrainian army used before. Russian troops have activated a new section of the front. However, so far it is not possible to say that there is significant changes here. On the other hand, Russian armed forces supported by artillery continue to attack the village of Robotin from the east and the south. According to reports, we can say that the Russian troops have now entered Robotin. There is now a presence of the Russian army, and especially in the outskirts. As we mentioned at the beginning of our report, Russian forces have surrendered the village of the Robotin from 3 sides. Of course, this has put the Ukrainian troops in a difficult situation, but there is still enough time to retreat, and the Ukrainian troops only need more ammunition here. If access to this ammunition is provided, the pressure on the Robotin will be lifted. Let me continue with the artillery activity in the area. According to the latest reports, artillery units of the Russian armed forces targeted positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in Plavny, Lobkovoi, and Pityakhatki, Malaya Sherbyanki, Malaya Tokmakcha, and Karovnoye. In turn, artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces targeted the positions of the Russian armed forces in Novoprokopivka and Verbov. Let me continue with the latest developments on the Donetsk front line. According to the latest reports, on the Donetsk front line, the Ukrainian armed forces have launched a counterattack near Salatkoe, where the Russian armed forces had previously captured positions. However, with this unexpected offensive, the Ukrainian armed forces have reestablished a foothold in Salatkoe. This achievement is very important. It is critical for the Ukrainian armed forces to hold Novomikhailivka, where the Russian troops have been attacking from the south and the east with the support of long-range weapons. It is a stance it's maintained, and the Ukrainian army may be able to maintain its presence in the town of Novomikhailivka. An intense artillery support is necessary here. In response, units of the Russian armed forces launched a counterattack after shelling the strikes in Popeta. There is a struggle for the initiative on the part of both armies. So far, no significant changes have been observed. However, the situation in the region is likely to change more and more every day, and the Ukrainian troops don't have much time left to act on the different strategies. At the same time, units of the Russian armed forces continue to attack Permovskoye with artillery support. On the other hand, they also have a series of advances in the Severnoye and Lostochkin. In the Lostochkin area, the Ukrainian armed forces maintain a partial presence only on the western outskirts. This presence is also under great threat, and there is a similar situation with the Novomikhailivka. Here too, new strategies need to be reviewed and implemented. Let's continue with the artillery activity in the region. According to the latest reports, artillery units of the Russian armed forces targeted positions of the Ukrainian armed forces in Konstantinivka, Yekaterinoivka, Krasnogorovka town, Nataliivka, Tonekoy, Orlovka, Novobakhmutovka, Orechetin, Alexandropol, and New York. In turn, artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces targeted units of the Russian armed forces stationed in Marinka and Donetsk. Let's continue by analyzing the latest developments on the Bakhmut front line. According to the latest reports, units of the Russian armed forces launched a serious offensives in the direction of Ivonivsky with artillery support. According to reports, Russian troops have made partial progress here. We think that Ukrainian troops should now take up the offensive positions again, at least until the Russian offensive's activity is reduced. Otherwise, time will tell us how the situation in the region will take shape. Now, I think it's time to continue with the artillery activity in the region. According to the latest reports, artillery units of the Russian armed forces targeted Ukrainian positions in Kordyumovka, Blaya Gora, Andriivka, Bogdanivka, Vazilkolovka, and Razdolovka. With artillery units of the Ukrainian armed forces hit units of the Russian armed forces stations in Bakhmut and Yahidny. On the Luhansk front line, Russian forces attacked in Ternivka area and Sinkivka with artillery support. No progress was made, and there are no developments here in the terms of border changes. Now it's your turn. What do you think? So what do you think that the Russian army will adopt new strategies on the Kherson front line, or what do you think about the situation of the Ukrainian troops in Zaporizhia? Or do you think that the Ukrainian troops will be able to regain the initiatives here? What do you think about the latest offensives of the Russian army on the Bakhmut front line? Write it down in the comments, because I read and I care about all of the comments.